Yes, guys, I found something that is so much disturbing to me, and I actually found out that, hey guys, Zodwa Wabantu stand a chance to go to heaven, but many people who are calling themselves Christians, hey guys, might miss heaven by inches. Hey man, and I was like, wow, this is so interesting, because if you look at Zodwa Wabantu's practices, it's all in the media, it's all in front of all of us, we all know. But there's one thing that Zodwa Wabantu is doing better than Christians. And when I was looking at this, I was like, sometimes we waste our time going to church, hoping that we're gonna be going to heaven. Then people like Zodwa Wabantu overtake us and go and get a look and go to heaven, and we go to hell for just simple things. Just simple of the simplest things. Do you want to know more about the evidence that I've found, which will make most of us to go to hell, and Zodwa Wabantu will go to heaven? Do you want to know more about that? Then please stick around. As you stick around, there's only one favor that I'm requesting from you, and that is you subscribe, you like the video, and you comment in the comment section below. Because doing all of that, guys, it does help out a lot when it comes to the YouTube algorithm to promote and spread this video to as many people as possible. So the power here is in your hands. As I was looking at this, it dawned to me that I actually stand zero chances to go to heaven, as opposed to Zodwa Wabantu, the one in whom we think she's never gonna make it to heaven. Actually, I found compelling evidence. Remember me, I'm of a person that thinks this way. I look at how people think in democratic perspective, theocratic perspective, and autocratic perspective. I look at the principles that are governing these three types of governments, right? Now, I found that Zodwa Wabantu, whatever she's practicing, it comes from the principles of democracy, right? Such as, she will tell you that what I do is ubufebe. Ubufebe means I'm prostituting. I know that, right? She'll also tell you that she's got a calling of being isangoma. That's what I'm saying. So there's almost a certainty in people's mind that such people, they will never go to heaven. But I'm going to tell you this. Today I'm bringing a very disturbing evidence that I found. Guti, such people actually has more chances of going to heaven than you. But particularly Zodwa Wabantu, not the other hypocrites who are sangomas and the other Christians who are, or people who are Christians. All of these two groups, they have what Zodwa Wabantu doesn't have. And that's what sets Zodwa Wabantu apart from a lot of us here. And that is what we are going to talk about. Let me share with you evidence number one that I found. Start with this thing. Go to the book of Joshua chapter 6 and read verse 22. Hey, when I was reading this, I was like, this is so disturbing. Now, this is what it says. But to the two men who had spied out the land, Joshua said, go into the prostitute's house, bring out from there the woman and all who belongs to her, as you saw unto her. Now, let me give you a bit of a history what happened here. What happened is that Moses sent people to go and spy the land of Canaan, right? So when they arrived to that land, they were busy, moving in spaces, in dark corners, so they could not be seen by these people. But they came across this P. So they interacted with this woman who practices prostitution for living. this woman, she then showed the masses she was kind to these people, and she was willing to keep them as secrets. She hid them in her room or in her house. When the house was searched, they couldn't find anything because they now know these people are in this land. So the house was searched and they couldn't find anything. She has hidden them, right? So meaning she was willing to die rather than seeing somebody being punished. There's something about this woman here. She's recorded as well somewhere in the book of Numbers, and also recorded in the book of Joshua chapter 6:22. And because of her act of honestness, regardless of what she practiced, which is against theocracy, but because of her honestness towards other people and her true sense of humility, the whole country was destroyed. Only that woman and her family were saved. To get the point, the whole country was to perish. Only this woman and her house, and her house or her family was saved simply because of her behavior. There's similarities that I've seen from this woman's behavior and Zodwa Wabantu's behavior that makes me think maybe some of us, we are busy going to church, but it's just a waste of time because we're not learning even from people like Zodwa Wabantu how they deal with themselves. Okay, maybe you want to know what do I mean. Go to the book of Luke chapter 16. I think we must begin reading from verse 10. Hey guys, this is so interesting as well. Begin reading from verse 10. Verse 10. It says, "He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. If therefore ye have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to you the trust of the riches? If ye have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is yours?" So the question is, the principle here is, if you are not faithful in worshiping mammon, why do you think I care about you turning you into worshiping God? Because you are also not faithful, you are cheating. Now, if you're looking at, there's something that I've seen about Zodwa Wabantu, that Zodwa Wabantu, she's honest at who she is and what she does. She's honest. That the thing that distinguishes Zodwa Wabantu from a lot of these so-called Christians who are prostitutes, it's actually how she deals with her soul. She's very honest. And I'm telling you, if Zodwa Wabantu were to be converted into Christianity, Zodwa Wabantu will be an honest Christian. So from what I've been reading here, I actually discovered that, wow, what I've been told here is, if you are not an honest thief, why do you think I will convert you into an honest Christian? Because guys, the essence here is be honest at what you do. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is because there's something that I found out which is quite disturbing. If you go to many churches these days, you hear the same thing that you hear from the world, let me say so. Where in the world you hear that a man this, a man that, and not a must, and not a must, which a lot of people know that is wrong. Even some feminists will tell you that this is wrong. But some Christians, for instance, they have the audacity to think that that is right. They then baptize that into what we call it Christianity and make it right. And then the justification is Adam had this and this, and which is also rubbish and nonsense. They cannot back themselves up in their own beliefs. Those are type of those women that are chasing for material success, but they baptize them into Christianity, and then the justification is Adam. guys, I actually learned a simplest definition ever, and that simplest definition is the name of when in the book of Leviticus it says that do not prostitute your daughter. What it means is do not take your daughter into marriage or enter a marriage union with somebody or give your daughter into or to marry somebody simply because of financial gain. And I also told you that there was an article that was released by News 24. They did a survey and the research. They found that 9 out of 10 women that are married to successful men, they are married to those men because of money, because of security. They don't love those men. Now listen carefully again. But they still don't love those men. Some women says that they will be married to successful men that they don't love, but they will learn to love them. Research found that they actually still don't love those men. So divorce is inevitable. The same divorce that theocracy says divorce is not allowed. So it's not a shocking thing to find out, according to stats, that many people that are divorcing are Christians. It is because Christians have lost. They are not honest with themselves. What they believe is actually rubbish. You understand? So it's just a proof of concept. I'm saying to you guys, I don't have a problem with a person practicing democracy, autocracy, or theocracy, but don't be both, because you can never be both. If you want the benefit of democracy, just go to democracy and practice democracy. Don't come here and tell us, yeah, God said it, we must do it, blah, blah, blah. Adam had this. You know, these hypocrites, they forget that there are so many things that are written out there in the Bible, but they don't practice. Why are you particularly concerned about the financial gain that was given to Adam? Take, for instance, in the Bible, back in the days, you find that when I was reading the book of John, chapter 11, so back in the days when, let's say for instance, somebody has passed away in your family. So there will be people that are called, maybe they should be called criers or weepers, I don't know. So as these people are crying, they will take their tears and put them in the bottle. So the competition was, during my funeral, I had more tears than yours. So those tears would have been in a bottle. Those are practices that were there. Some of the practices that were there was that when a person died, they are not kept. They just bury them in 3 days. Some of the practices that were, guys, there are so many practices that are recorded in the Bible. But you find these people who are so fixated upon the idea that God, look, in the Bible, in the beginning things were perfect. You find them saying that the man must have these things. If a man is truly a Christian, he must have all these things. Then they will marry that man. But you're like, wait a minute. If then you are saying Adam must have all these things, then technically you must be a virgin, because Eve was a virgin. You mustn't have children, because Eve did not have children. The Eve that was given to the Adam that had everything, the monies, the wealthy, he was married to Eve. That Adam was married to Eve, who did not have children, who was a virgin. You name them. That the Eve that was truly a Christian. So you must have all the characteristics of that Eve. Otherwise, you are just cheating. You are just deceiving yourself. So that's where the problem is. People born, they have children, they are not virgin, they are not even true Christians, but they want to marry a true Christian man. And that's what I found to be a problem. And mina, I'm saying, Zodwa Wabantu is a perfect example. And Zodwa Wabantu, because she's honest at who she is. That's what distinguishes me. You know what I'm saying? Me. I always say, I would rather marry Zodwa Wabantu than marry most of Christians, because they are not honest at who and what they do, how they want to earn living. But Zodwa Wabantu, she's honest. We know she's wrong according to theocracy, but the problem is she's honest at what she does, and that's what distinguishes Zodwa Wabantu from a lot of us. We are not honest with ourselves. We're trying to feel good about it, but we're not honest with ourselves. Thus, people like Zodwa Wabantu will overtake a lot of us and go to heaven, and most of us who are wasting time going to church, we shall burn in hell. And it will be a shame, because we deprived ourselves so much evilness in this world, because we are saying we are saving ourselves. Let us be honest. And that's the point I've been learning, that let us be honest. If you know that Bongane, you want to rob people, go rob people. But don't make it look like robbing people is it's a good thing, because what is so funny, because and then Jacob robbed Isaac his things. He robbed Isaac his birthright and ran away, and therefore now robbing people is a good thing. We don't come up with such suggestions or such things, but it is in the Bible. It's recorded in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, that this guy robbed that guy and went away with his birthright. Did you see what I'm trying to say? Don't Christianize your behavior. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Do it, but know exactly that, what I'm doing is wrong. Lastly, my brother died in 2016. It was Wednesday. It was on the 16th of December 2016, on Wednesday morning. He always told me, he was still in cars, he always told me that what I'm doing is wrong. I'm worshipping the devil in doing such, and I will die in my act. You know what I'm saying? He has never tried to say, you know what, I'm doing what Isaac is doing, or Jacob is doing. He stole his brother's birthright, and it's in the Bible. He has never tried to justify that. He always told me that this is wrong, but I'm doing it anyway. And I think if all of us were to learn such things, we'll become better people. But because we want to feel good about our evilness, that is exactly what is going to make us miss heaven by hinges.